Hey guys, I'm Thomas, Southern Outdoors NC. Got something that's been on my mind for a while and I just want to share it with you. A lot of YouTube fishing commentators, creators out there. I kind of wonder where they come from, what the background history is. And you can kind of see where I'm going with this. I want to share with you what Southern Outdoors is all about, where Thomas come from, and what got me into fishing. I want you to think back, keep going back a little further. Whoa, that's far enough. Think back to a time that got you fired up for fishing. An individual, a circumstance, whatever it may be. Think back to that time. For me, it was an individual and a destination. I had a good friend. I don't even know if he's still alive anymore or not. He was an older gentleman whenever I was young. I was 9, 10 years old. The gentleman would come around and he would take me to local ponds. He was a friend of the family's. He would come around and pick me up. We'd go to the lakes, small lakes, reservoirs, and he'd take me to ponds fishing. He was a pan fisherman. He liked to fish for panfish, you know, brim, crappie, fish like that. That was his type of fishing. So that's what we did most of the time. We'd gather up some minnows or some crickets, things like that. We didn't use a lot of artificials, but he did occasionally. But he would come by and pick me up, and we'd go to these places. Well, it got to the point where I guess he got older and he just didn't come around anymore. So that pretty much set me up for what has turned out to be something pretty spectacular. I feel like it bit me. That experience bit me. I started hitting ponds. I started hitting lakes and stuff of my own. I would go out in the yard, take a bait caster. Me and my best friend, we'd go out in his yard, and I'd do it at the house too. Take a bait caster. And that's how I learned how to throw a bait caster. Out there every day, throwing that bait caster. I mean, the bug was there. The bug had bit me. I wanted more. So I got to the point where I was in high school, going from the 9th to the 10th grade of high school, and a buddy of mine I grew up with, he had a pond back behind his house, and we would go back and fish behind his house, and it was mainly catfish and brim pond. You know, we'd catch stuff 12, 14 inches long. Well, he asked me to go up to Wisconsin with him. That's where his family was from. I think on both sides. And his family was from a little town called Alma Center, Wisconsin. Beautiful town. They couldn't understand me. I was too southern for them. We got up there and we stayed with his uncle. We actually rode up with his uncle. And it took us about 2 days to get up there. His uncle knew a guide that was a walleye fisherman. That's what he did. He was a walleye guide. So he set it up. We went out and went fishing with him one day. Went full day, if I remember right. We went early that morning, got back that evening. But the lake that we went to was Lake Eau Claire. And I can't tell you what town that was in, but I just know the lake, it was Lake Eau Claire. So we get there. He teaches us all about how to jig for walleye. He gives us we're using his equipment. He gives me a rod. It's got a 2-inch, I think, black and orange curly tail jig on it with a 1/4 ounce jig head. Well, we start jigging, and I'm jigging out there and just having a good time. Not really expecting anything. I hadn't expected anything out of this trip. Just go have a good time, get some experience doing something different. You know, that's all I was thinking of. Well, I'm out there jigging. I can't remember. Maybe one of us had caught something. I can't really remember at this point. Something bit and I didn't know what it was. I just used screaming line off, and I'm fighting this fish, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just be honest, I don't know what I'm doing with a fish this big. The fish is taking out line, and the guy, he's telling me what to do, helping with he's probably helping with the drag. I don't remember at this point, but I get this fish to the side of the boat eventually. It seemed like a while, but eventually get it to the side of the boat, and he's netting this thing. Holy cow! It takes up just about the whole net. It turns out it's a 31-inch muskie, and I was ecstatic. You talking about awesome. The only problem was the limit, the minimum limit to keep one was 32 inches. So what did I have to do? Put it back in the water, catch and release. So that's all good, you know. It'd been really nice to have that thing mounted for my first fish up there, but it was all good. I got the picture. Anyway, we continue on fishing, and I can't tell you where my horseshoe was at, but buddy, it was somewhere, because the next fish I caught seemed like, pretty sure the next fish was a 28-inch northern pike. You talking about fun now. These things was fun. I never had so much fun catching fish. And it goes on out throughout the day where I'm catching fish. My buddy, he's catching fish too. The guy catching fish. You know, it just turned out to be a fantastic day to go. I mean, we was just catching fish all day long. Caught several different northerns. I don't know how many northern pike I caught. Caught several walleye. I think the biggest was like 21 inches, something like that, maybe 19 to 21 inches. I can't really remember at this point, but they was nice walleye. We come back after that day and fillets them out, and we enjoyed a lot of fish for a while. That was an awesome trip for me. So to carry on the story a little bit further, there was a river, and it was joined by a lake, but I know the river was the Black River that was near the town of Alma Center. His uncle had a john boat, and all it was equipped with was a trolling motor, and he had a battery. So we would go in the evenings whenever we could and go fishing. Launch out in the lake part, but then troll up to the rocks. We would fish for smallmouth, and we would use plastic worms, weightless plastic worms. That's how I learned to use plastic worms, was up there. And use that, and floating number 7 Rapalas. I think there's number 7, maybe number 9, but I think there's number 7 Rapalas. Throw them out there against some rocks, pop them, bass, kill them. You talking about fun? That was awesome. Awesome fishing. Had a blast. But to end the story and tell you guys, that is where I got bit. That is what got me on fire for fishing. I hope you've got a story. I hope you've got something related that you can look back and think, wow, you know, that's something that experience that will just, that you can think back and say, that's where I got to, that's what bit me. That's what drove me to the point where I am today. A fishaholic. I'm always thinking about the next destination to fish, whether it's the coast, whether it's here at the house, in this pond behind me, whether it's hitting a new lake or going to the lake. I love it. I love to fish, and I hope it shows in my videos. I just want to know from you guys. Leave me a comment. What got you into fishing? What was the one thing, or maybe a couple of things, experiences that really bit you, that got you on fire for fishing? What got you? What was the experience? Let me know. I'm curious to know. I know what it was for me. I know there's a lot of people out there who I don't want to make this sound harsh, but make videos and create videos just for the money. I don't do it for that. I do it because I enjoy it. It's just the experience for me. For me to get in there, start editing a video, and put it out here for you guys is worth it. That's worth it for me. And I hope it shows in my videos. I hope it shows to the point where you guys keep coming back, want to keep watching these crazy videos I put out. I'm no Jimmy Houston or Bill Dance by no means. I'm not great like that, but I feel like I'm genuine, bringing you something that hopefully an experience out here on the water that will hopefully keep you coming back. It's the one thing that got you fired up, and what continues to drive you. Take that rod and reel, go pick it up, get up early on Saturday mornings, weekend warrior like myself, to try to go to a lake, go to the pond, go to the coast. What drives you to pick up that rod and reel and take it and spend 8, 10, 12 hours, 14 hours, however long, on that boat, on the kayak, on the bank, with a friend, with your parents, with your grandpa, whoever it may be, that special person, your wife, your kids. Why you keep going back? Think about it and let me know. I would be really tickled to know what drives you. Now I'm going to leave you with that and ask you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and think about what I've said and what I've shared with you today. Please leave me a comment. I would love to hear what got you fired up fishing. Guys, take care, and hope to see you next time.
Using my little ultralight rod, 4-pound test.